Hi everyone, it's Cherry Enchantress. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have my second edition of the Faery Forecast Oracle is out. And I got my making playing card shipment today. So check if those of you who wanted these Sentimental Silhouettes in the tin, they're in the Etsy shop now. Little by little I'll be restocking. It's just I'm not sure, like it was kind of a convergence of things happened. Postal issues and fire, like there's two places. Making playing cards stems from China, and Printer Studio is from California, but I think they're like a sister company. But anyway, so it's just been kind of hit and miss with the shipping stuff. So I've just been trying to kind of give myself a little break from that, doing all the dealing with the shipping. Anyway, but I don't want to give myself a break from creativity. So before I open this, I just want to remind those of you who don't know or don't remember, my first edition was my very first deck that I ever made with not Printer Studio, with MakePlayingCards.com. It came shrink wrapped. So I put them in this nice little bag, which is a perfect size for it, okay? And I don't know if I ever gave you the dimensions before, but the dimensions, this one is called Custom Jumbo, and it's 3.5, 3.5 by 5, 3.5 by 5 size. It's the size that most Oracle, like the Romance Angels come in and things like that, but you can't really get the same width that you can get in more professional type Oracle cards, I guess, like Hay House or Blue Angel publishers. The other thing about this one I just want to mention, it's a 42 card deck, and I couldn't get the silver edge in this size or gold edge in this size, and yeah, I guess that's it. Oh yeah, you know what I did? I experimented because I wanted it to be kind of thick. So I used plastic. So it's like really ultra bendy and ultra shiny. It'll last a while. Actually, it's not safe against cats because my cat started gnawing on one of them, and it had like some cat bites on it. And I didn't, that day that he decided to help me out and do a pick a card with me. Anyway, if you want to look at what this looked like, you can look at it in my flip through, but it's pre-Raphaelite stuff, and so this deck is going to have similar images, some of the similar images, but with some new ones, and just I'm more fairifying it. So I just wanted to kind of I'm not going to have as many images of just people with little fairies. I'll have a lot more fairies to look at, all fairies anyway. And because I call it the Faery Forecast, I wanted to kind of give it a weather feeling as well, timing and weather, like just sort of a feeling, what's going to be in the air, what's the temperature, what's the conditions. So that's what my new one will have, more of that. Fairy King will still be with us because he's a doll. Some things will be different though, just so you know. And I took these off the, so all of my festivals are the same. I felt like festivals are really good way to help get timing. That was the whole point of Faery Forecast, is to get timing. So yeah, I just go through those real quick. I was gonna add, so one of the major changes are the elements, the fire, the water, and the air. I used kind of the same picture and just kind of the same artwork, and just see, it's the same exact one. I just changed the coloring, and so and I looked everywhere to represent them, and I just thought I'm gonna draw the elements. So basically the elements are kind of like our digital art that I did, and you'll see that. So yeah, I'm an artist, but it takes a long time to make a deck. So, and I'm not really well versed yet in digital art. So it's actually been quite a practice, but it's been very nice practice working on that. All right. So, and then I just wanted to show you real quick. This was my very first Faery Forecast cards. I was thinking, oh, but a fairy, well, this is kind of like a fairy right here with fairy butterfly wings. Said this would be a cute shape. Super hard to shuffle or whatever. But I do use them occasionally because they're kind of fun to get timing, a little bit of timing or seasons or something. All right. Okay, so now the big reveal. You are watching this with me. So this deck is also an unusual size. This one is called, let me go find that information. This one is called the Big Creator. I like this size. I think I used the Big Creator size more or less for for Erotic Enchantment. The difference between Make Playing Cards and Printer Studio is Make Playing Cards does the foil edges, and I'm able to have a little more flexibility with the boxes. So I made this box, so I'm so excited. And look at the back. Isn't it cute? I gotta get this open though. Okay, so this edition, Faery Forecast, I should have probably wrote somewhere on there second edition, but really I didn't sell the first edition. I just kind of played with it with myself. I just used it for my own purposes. So yeah, basically this is my real edition because the other one was just mostly practice. So I just want you to know what this size is actually 5.5 by 7. 5.5. No, 3.5 by 7.25. Okay, so it's taller. It's pretty tall. It's kind of similar to the other one, but it's just taller, and it is superior smooth. And the box is custom ridged box and a gloss laminated smooth finish. I thought, one of my favorites is the linen, but the more, the fancier you get, the more expensive it gets. So I thought maybe I'll just cut it down, cut the box costs down so it won't be so expensive for you guys. It's not necessary, and I'm kind of proud of myself. I got all the writing in without fitting in the square, because that's kind of tricky when you're working with Adobe Illustrator. And then my backing. So the artwork that I use most is John Anster Fitzgerald. He's one of my favorites when it comes to fairies. And then I just kind of do combinations of things. So this says, Faery Forecast Oracle Cards is a whimsical collection of fairy images mostly depicting the important festivals of the year. The focus of the cards are for divination to help in timing or questions like, when will we meet? This colorful deck also merrily portrays the seasons, elements, moods, and weather of the upcoming events. The Faery Forecast Oracle will give you a full weather report on your life and love inquiries. Let the cheery artwork of Cherry Enchantress, I'm an artist in this, John Anster Fitzgerald and others carry you on a breeze of delight into your future. All right, breeze of delight. That's one of the cards that's kind of a delightful breeze in here. So yeah, and then that's kind of what happens, you guys, when you're like, how do you find such great pictures? Well, when I first started, finding pictures was hard. But now that I've found so many, it's almost like when I go to look for pictures, they feed me pictures. They give me pictures. They're like, here, you might like this, and you might like this. So they just appear more readily. All right, so this does, like how some of these check boxes have a nice, easy like grasping thing. This one doesn't really so much, but that's okay. I am not mad. Sierra's gonna be so happy. All right, and this is, so it's got that nice like paper around it. And look, guys, this size, I would, the reason why I chose this size is like, you can do silver edging on this size. Oh wow! All right. So those of you who are interested, just know that the it's called Big Creator, and it is 3.5 by 5 and 0.75 size, and you can make the Big Creator. You can make your cards with the silver on them or gold, So, and I'm not sure if they can also do, if you can also have foil or not. Well, you can't have both, but I think you might be able to have foil, maybe. All right, so, I'm so excited. So this is a picture of my daughter that I did, and I made her into a fairy air because she's my Aquarius. And they're numbered too. I just remembered that. Okay, good. They're numbered. Hopefully I got all the numbers right. And originally I had my niece Linnea as Earth, but I just figured, I need to at least represent one beautiful melanin woman in here. So she's my very last one. So she's kind of like the most realistic looking of everything in the deck that I did, because it was after a lot of practice, I finally started to get a more realistic look. Yeah, and so she turned out really nice. So that's my Earth. Fire, like this is Holly, Sierra's friend. Holly, you're in a deck. Water, this is the very first one I did. This comes from a painting I did of myself a long time ago when I had sort of a mermaid theme going in my life. But yeah, I thought I'd bring out the mermaid for water. All right, and those are the only ones that I did. I took forever, and so, but I did a lot of editing and photo manipulation and stuff for all the other ones. So here we have autumn, spring, summer, winter, Imok, Ostara, Beltane, Litha. The coloring is good. I'm very happy with it. It looks exactly. It doesn't look darker or lighter than the images that I have in uploaded. Lunasa, Mabon, that one's so pretty. Samhain, Yule. Yule was a little bit harder. Like, I wanted so badly to find like fairies decorating a Christmas tree, so this one was kind of smushy. Oh my gosh, but I'll take it. Now we have the Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust. Faith, Trust. I actually did work on this one. Pixie Dust. There's my little face and Pixie Dust. All right. Zephyr's Breath. This one is so sweet, and it just kind of represents the first fresh air of spring, or that first beautiful cool breeze of autumn, and I definitely felt that. And we've had such beautiful weather. It's so nice. Playful Lambs, Angel's Kiss. I thought that one was such a sweet picture. I was like, definitely have to turn this into something special, There's our Fairy Queen. There's our Fairy King. Nesting. I thought this was important for people maybe asking pregnancy questions and things like that. Love Awakens. Waves. Here's some of Anster's Fitzgerald's very kind of impressionistic fairies, and I think they're just so cool. and I wanted to incorporate a little bit more of these type of paintings. They were so pretty. Waves can mean so many things, you know. It had kind of a joyful feeling. A wave can be kind of like overwhelming at first, but I think this was sort of a happy wave. Waves of joy. Haunts. And this can have, you know, it doesn't have to be an evil thing or a dark thing. Haunts can actually be fun, you know. And I feel like haunts can talk about parties or Halloween, or, you know, I don't know, like messing around with, you know, trick-or-treating, or messing around with, you know, the darker, more interesting world, you know. So I just feel like that, you know, that kind of think I needed to represent something like that. Like, not all fairy stuff is completely, you know, just light and cheerful. There are sort of a mischievous thing that goes around along with them as well. Then we have music. This is almost exactly the same as my other music, except I added wings to the fairy. In fact, I want to show you just so you can see. So after a couple of years, I did kind of learn a little bit more about photo manipulation and how to make things look better and brighter. And I thought, well, all of the cards have sort of a sparkle quality to them, you know, like a sparkles of light quality. So there you go. See, my fairy has wings now, and it's kind of got more of a green tint and some sparkles. So there you go. Also, escape is a little different. I'll show you my escape card here. Escape. And it was good to see what it looked like before, so I could make it warmer, you know, and fleshier, brighter. Also added a few wings to her, but of course it's hard to tell because she's busy being abducted or something. It's not so much that, you know, this is one of those stories you can read in many ways, you know. She may not actually be trying to escape. Maybe she's being playful, right? You can look at it a playful way, or you can look at it as, yeah, it's, you know, try to get away from this person. All right, let's see. Now this one, it just came to me actually one morning. I was doing a reading for somebody, and I was using the Akashic Tarot, and the Fated Meeting card came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make my own Fated Meeting card, because I actually had a dream, and that was sort of like made me think of that. It was like the happiest dream I've ever had. So in this dream, there's a beautiful dark maiden, which I guess was me. I was walking around the marble halls, and I was like, oh, I gotta go look at myself. So because it was a conscious, I had read the conscious dreaming book. I went to, so I was in my dream sort of somewhat consciously aware, you know, or making an impression so I could remember it when I wake up. And so I walked over and I looked at myself and I saw what I looked like. Anyway, long story short, I went out and I saw it was a sled that was in the snow, and then a male companion was sitting there waiting for me, and we were driving through the snow, which kind of like changed seasons. And it got to a place that was kind of like London, like a town or a city, and then the carriage flew up and started, you know, like twirling around and around, and as it was flying, bubbles were floating around everywhere. It was just the prettiest, happiest, joyful feeling I ever had in a dream, or ever really, I guess. You know, I just thought, this is like the amazing, contented feeling of like an ascension and your dreams coming true kind of thing. So I felt I should have that somewhere, that image. And so I kind of like manipulated a bunch of different images together to create this faded meaning image. They have crescent moon. This originally was the kiss, but I thought, no, the moon is more important in this, so this could talk about moon cycles, or that something will happen under a crescent moon. The humble bee, so this has a kind of a long story to it, but like all my cards, the humble bee was somebody who's stealing honey from the humble bee. So I feel like this sort of represents humility, and also represents sometimes people taking advantage of kindnesses. So I guess I just wanted to have that sort of representation, but also that like this fairy here is a witness to the wrongdoing, and so she's going to correct the wrongs, basically. You have rest. This is a different rest than I had in the original deck. Enter. This enter card looks a little bit grainier. I don't know why. Safe. Embark. The bees look kind of weird. This font is called Celtic, and it was a font that I have on my computer, not that it wasn't Make Playing Cards font. So I went ahead, when I did these, I added my I think I added the number on their site, but all of the words I did myself, and they don't look blurry or anything. So that's another thing. Sometimes you think, oh, well, I better do the words later so they don't print out blurry, but mine printed out really nicely. So sometimes it might be easier to already have the words on your card, whatever you plan to do. Then you got storm. So I felt like that's good weather report right there, and kind of like clue you into what might be coming up. Fairy babies. I thought this one was just so sweet, and I had to represent the babies, children, and caretaking and stuff like that. Snow flurries. Here's another one that's kind of abstract and pretty. This could represent too, like being, having to deal with snow, but this seems sort of safe, within a home, or maybe a getaway to a beautiful place with snow. And this is one, I just thought this was so nice, because Aurora is my goddess, and she is the goddess of the dawn, and the dawn is and as well as sunset is all about beautiful colors in the sky. So if you can notice here, like these are painters with their palettes. I wasn't able, it's kind of a big picture, I wasn't able to get the musicians as well, but there was some musician fairies in this picture too. So I at least represent an artistic thing, right? An artistic quality. So that could represent like your art, artistry is going to shine. And could also represent, as far as the forecast, something happening in the dawn, or a dawning of some new idea or creativity or something like that. And then we have Union. The Union card in my other deck was, well, it was just a little bit like, I don't know. I don't think it like gelled. This one is really cute and everything, but it didn't seem to flow as well with the other pictures I had in the second edition. So I decided to kind of create my own, kind of make it magical. So this one was quite an interesting manipulation of things, but I just wanted to have kind of a magical feeling here. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to fix this one a little bit. But anyway, there's the Union card. It looks magical. It's kind of what I see fairies, and it's just, Anster has all these really, has like bugs and stuff. I'm like, I just don't want bugs in my union picture. I'm sorry. So, and like this weird devil guy, you know, like I could try to find a way to clear it up, but why go through all that trouble and just, you know, create a whole scene and setting that I prefer. So that's what I did. All right, you guys. Wow. I'm kind of actually, I'm very proud and excited about this deck. Aww. And my box. Aww. Look how cute it is. So you guys, I'm going to use this on you. And just let me know if you want a reading with this. I will, probably order some and put these in my Etsy. And I think it cost me to buy this box and with the silver and everything, it could probably cost me maybe $80. So that's why it's so hard to like buy big bulks and pass it on to you guys, because it gets pricey. I have to get a lot of investment in myself, unless you want to go ahead and pre-order this. So we can maybe do a pre-order if you're interested. So pre-orders for the Faery Forecast, just email me at artladyjas@gmail.com, and I'll see what what kind of price I can come up with. I'm not really sure yet, but it might be at least 100 maybe. I have to check on that. Okay, guys? So anyway, I hope you like that, and thank you for watching. Faith, Trust, Pixie Dust.